Hello, this is Major Zero, and I'm going to be playing Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition today. So, I hope you enjoy. We're just going to be doing a basic run-through of Dark Souls in such a way that it's easy to follow for someone who perhaps hasn't played the game before or would like some tips on getting through sections. So that means we're going to go with the Master Key and the Warrior. The Warrior mainly because he starts off with some decent kit and stats, and it's a very easy class to start with, I suppose. It was how I started the game the first time I played it. Admittedly, it didn't go super well, but I've played a lot of Dark Souls on the 360 before I got it for the PC. So, all in all, it should go a little bit better than it did do the first time.
The world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death. And of course, light and dark. Then, from the dark, they came and found the souls of lords within the flame.
I believe in this context they are humans, but I'm not totally sure.
Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Asylum and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten.
I've heard that he may be the precursor to humanity in the Dark Souls universe, and it sounds convincing. I'm not really sure.
With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bullets peeled apart their stone skins. Witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease.
Combined arms approach here.
And Seath, the Scales, betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more.
A Dark Souls RTS would be quite interesting if it was set during the Age of Fire.
The Age of Fire.
Before that, the big battle, the war era.
But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
I've always sort of wondered where the dark sign is on your body. Is it on your eyes, or who knows? Someone probably that isn't me. I should really do more research for my Let's Plays. Let's be honest. I'm gonna have very little to talk about if I don't really learn what it is I'm supposed to be talking about.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. where they are locked away to await the end of the world.
I always kind of questioned the wisdom of locking someone up in full armor plate.
Is your fate.
It seems counterintuitive. I suppose there's no one around to, do guard duty things. Except the big scary demon I've got to fight later on. The armor doesn't really matter against him so much. Thank you. It has been a while since I played Dark Souls 1 to completion, so I may be a bit rusty, like this gate. The first time I played this, I always assumed you had to kill these lovely people. It's entirely unnecessary. They'll stand there forever. This guy here, you can see pacing about at a leisurely pace. He is a nightmare to fight, but that comes much, much later. We'll be dealing with him in a later episode, I hope. There's one there as well. Just chilling in the water. Now, the first time I played Dark Souls, I borrowed it from a friend, I think. Never played it before, just knew that it was difficult. Wasn't entirely prepared for how difficult it was compared to other RPGs of, a similar genre. Like, for example, Skyrim or whatever. I had no clue what Dark Souls I was going into other than it was difficult. So this entire starting section from... Oh, that was the boss there. There it is. We're gonna fight him later. Some people can do it with just this initial sword, which is hugely impressive. If you kill him that way, I believe you get his hammer. So yeah. But I remember the first time I played this, easily 5-6 hours it took me to get out of here. I was not good at this game. The whole idea of combat was... Well, I mean, it seems fairly self-explanatory now, but... It was less easy when I first encountered it, because, that just... At least in most games, hiding behind your shield and praying for them to stop attacking you is not a good beginner strategy. But, in Dark Souls that appears to be the way. Backstab as well. If you want to finish Dark Souls, you have to get good at doing backstabs. And if you play Dark Souls, you will get better at doing backstabs. Pro tip for backstabs. You can't do it with your shield raised. Oh! It always catches me. Always. Hello.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I are both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Yeah, go on then.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family, "Thou who art undead art chosen. In thine exodus from the undead asylum, maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know." Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite.
Cheers. We'll be needing those later.
Oh, and this.
And that.
Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
That's a very specific family saying, to be honest. So normal sayings are things like, never trusted, I don't know, two-headed snake. No, never look a gift horse in the mouth. I don't know why I just made up a saying there. It doesn't even sound like a saying. It just sounds like common sense. So, this section caused me no end of headaches, and you just see me go through it in about 20 seconds with no problems at all. It takes a long time to get to this stage when you first start playing the game, because you really, unless you start watching videos, you have no real idea where you're supposed to go with it. Oh, I could've beat him better. Oh no, fuck you. Healing on my watch. This next boss fight as well, there's a very, very easy way to do it, if you know what you're doing, which I should hope I do know what I'm doing, because I've done it God knows how many times. Two-handed falling attack, so just press right bumper as you fall off his head, and then run around the back and hit him with your sword, and eventually you'll win. Unless that happens. But it's okay, because you just do the same thing. His weak spot is his butthole. And there we go. The first boss of the game. I did question whether to do it in a much more cinematic way, but I figured it would be much easier just to skip past these early bosses, because the later bosses I'll have to fight in a much more dramatic way anyway, because, well, they're harder. As you come here, go down left, and you'll find souls. There's also like a bird's nest that you can swap items for stuff.
You, give me warm, give me soft.
Kinky. I can't exactly remember what it is you've got to give them. I think stones, maybe? Or am I thinking of Dark Souls 2? I don't know. They give you items that are valuable if you give them things.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords.
Banging.
Lordan.
See those lovely curved walls there, which you may remember from the cutscene? I can't remember exactly where it is. You can go out and look over Lordan, and it just has these huge concentric wall defenses that just go on as far as you can see, you know, miles and miles and miles. It looks badass. I wonder if it's from here. Yeah, there we go. Just look at that. That's impenetrable by there. There's no way you can fight through this number of walls. Anyway, this is where I'll call it a day for today. Like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. I'll be continuing my Dark Souls Let's Play in short order. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later.